Hello, this is a recap of a Spain movie called Orbiter 9. Please don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. Helena is a 20-year-old astronaut who has lived almost all her entire life in a spaceship named Orbiter 9. Because of factors like overpopulation, global warming, and toxic environment, scientists on Earth have sent her on a mission to the supposed habitable planet Celeste. It is believed that it will take her 20 more years to reach the planet. Initially, an infant Helena was brought to the spaceship by her parents, and they raised her there. However, 3 years back, a malfunction in the system caused the Orbiter 9's oxygen supplies to deplete at a rapid rate. Hence, her parents took the tough decision to commit the unthinkable so that their daughter could have enough oxygen to reach the nearest outpost. In this way, Helena has spent the last years alone in the spaceship. Her daily routine consists of watering her veggies, exercising, checking her health states, and reminiscences about her parents. By this time, she has been starting having difficulties in breathing as the oxygen supply is almost up. One day, the alarm in the spaceship starts blaring, and this worries Helena. It is the first time she has experienced such an event. She immediately heads over the control room to inspect and find out that the shuttle has joined her spaceship. It turns out that her distress call has finally been answered. Helena rushes to the entrance, and when the door opens, an engineer named Alex enters. She is equally stunned and happy to see him, as he has been 3 years since her last interaction with someone. Alex introduces himself and proceeds to examine the oxygen system, but Helena can't take her eyes off of him, possibly because she has never seen a man her age before. A few hours later, as Alex is busy with the repairs, Helena invites him for dinner, to which he agrees. Later during dinner, Helena keeps asking a lot of questions, but for some reasons, Alex is cold. He simply mentions that he has to finish his work and return to his outpost. The next day, Alex successfully repairs the oxygen system and prepares to leave. That night, while he is sleeping, Helena slightly enters his room and gets on top of him. As she is busy staring, Alex walks up and asks her to get down, but Helena, who has been alone her entire life, mentions that it might be another 20 years before she sees someone again. She then slowly kisses him, and soon the two have coitus. The following morning, Alex picks all his belongings and departs, without even bidding Helena a proper goodbye. After leaving the spaceship, he enters a strange hallway and then makes his way upstairs. Surprisingly, he comes out of what appears to be a bunker, which is placed in the middle of the woods. Here, we got to know the Orbiter 9 is not a spaceship after all, and the entire thing is being staged on Earth. In the next scene, Alex gets in his truck and drives through the woods, which appears to be a top secret facility. We can clearly see that there are more bunkers like Helena's, and the entire operation is known as Project Orbiter. Shortly after, Alex reaches the entrance, which is heavily guarded by a military personnel. That evening, he heads to the base operation and meets the project manager, Hugo. Hugo takes out his tablet and shows some statistics to Alex, which reveals that there are in fact 10 orbiters. He claims that the progress is good, and if everything proceeds at the same time, the real launch to Celeste may happen in the next 20 years. Despite the good news, Alex is upset as he worries about the 10 test subjects that have been isolated in the orbiters. However, Hugo tells him that sacrificing 10 people for the good of humanity is the right thing to do. At night, as Alex is heading home, a news report states it has been 5 years since Celeste spaceship disaster. On that fateful night, the spaceship was carrying 207 crew members experienced a sudden mechanical failure just after exiting the Earth's surface. This resulted in a fateful crash that killed everyone on board. The head engineer of the spaceship is revealed to be none other than Alex himself. Ever since the accident, he has been shrouded with guilt and sorrows, as not only did several people die, but humanity also suffered a major setback in their quest to Celeste. The next morning, Alex meets his therapist Sylvia, who uses a highly futuristic screen to conduct her sessions. With the help of this screen, people on both sides can see each other, and even their original voice is destroyed. All they can see is a computer-sized wolf which resembles their facial movements. Unable to hide his depression anymore, Alex reveals about the specifics of his job to Sylvia and explains how he feels bad for the 10 test subjects. As days passes by, Alex starts getting more and more paranoid. He regularly watches videos and live feeds of Helena, implying that he is unable to shake her off of his mind. Then one day he finally decided to risk it all. He gets in his car and hides to the facility. Meanwhile, inside the Orbiter 9, as Helena is undergoing her regular health checkup, the alarm starts blaring once again. This surprises Helena, as her spaceship is far away from any outpost. Soon, the entrance door opens and a casually dressed Alex emerges from it. He immediately informs her that they are not in a spaceship and that they have to escape, but Helena is frozen in fear, doesn't speak a word. To prove his point, Alex takes out a hidden camera and also a microchip planted inside Helena to trick her vital organ. He also tells her he is doing this for her safety. Helena is still disbelieved, but since she has a crush on Alex, she agrees to go with him. Before leaving, Alex hacks the camera feed and uploads on all the recorder of Helena so that no one suspects their escape. Following this, the two exit the Orbiter 9. When Helena steps out of the bunker, she is momentarily dazed and has difficulty walking. As she experiences sunlight and nature air for the first time, Alex then hides her inside his truck and somehow clears her thoughts the entrance checkup. Later, he stops by a hill and reveals everything about the Orbiter program and how it came to existence. The program was designed to customize a human to space so that upcoming launch to Celeste can go smoothly. He also informs Helena that her parents are still alive, but when the latter express her desire to meet them, he refuses. Turn out that her parents are also a part of the project. Shortly after, the two reach Alex's home and Helena is surprised to see normal household equipment. She also experiences rain for the first time and become delighted. The following day, Alex visits Sylvia and informs her of what he's done, worried about her client's safety. Sylvia shows her real self to Alex and promises to help him if things go awry. That night, Alex takes Helena out and shows her around the city. He buys a variety of meals for her, something which he has never experienced in her isolation. When Helena talks about the sea, he simply takes her to an aquarium and introduces her to different fishes. The next morning, Alex leads Helena to his private office, where he has a bunch of computers set up. He explains that it is the place from where he keeps an eye on the orbiters and tracks their progress, clearly stressed by the breach in privacy. Helena asks Alex how he could be involved in such an human's act, but the latter replies that is for the betterment of humanity. With all the data and statistics gained from the Orbiter project, they could closely send the real spaceship to Celeste in the coming years. In the next scene, Alex takes Helena to a nightclub and introduces her to his friends. One of them is Dr. Shao, a well-known physician. He asks Helena about her hometown, but before she can reply, Alex makes up an excuse and diverts the topic. He wants to keep Helena's identity a secret at any cost. After a while, the group talks about the application of the Orbiter program and how it can help humanity in the long run. Alex believes that the progress is good, but Dr. Shao asserts that instead of finding a new planet, people should focus on making Earth a better place. One day, Alex notices some rashes on Helena's back and took her to his friend. Dr. Shao, after examining Helena on the surface, reveals that her skin is very sensitive, as if she has never been out in the sun. He then sends her for a thorough checkups and interrogates Alex about her true identity. Dr. Shao suspects that she has something to do with the Orbiter program, and Alex finally reveals everything. That evening, while Alex is away, Helena enters his room and starts going through his files. In one of such files, she finds out something shocking. It turns out that she is not an offspring after all, but just a clone. She then flips over some pages and finds the addresses of her surrogate parents. Devastated by the revelation and the fact that Alex lied to her, she gathered her belongings and hides outside to find her parents. Later, Alex arrives home and gets to know that Helena has discovered the truth about her genetics. He is visibly upset but can do nothing to find her. Elsewhere, Helena finds her parents and confirms them for abandoning her. The mother, who seems to be caring, tells Helena that although she is a clone, she has the genetic of people from different centuries, making her extremely healthy. Just then, the father approaches Helena from behind and cuffs her to the railing. He then proceeds to contact Hugo, but surprisingly, the mother knocks him out and helps Helena escape. A few hours later, she meets up with with Alex and berates him for hiding the truth from her. With no words to defend himself, Alex simply apologizes and hugs her. However, the trouble had just begun, realizing that Hugo and his people have got wind of the escape. Alex and Helena pick their belongings and take off. The next day, Hugo meets up with the chief benefactor of the Orbiter project, Catherine, and assists his escape. When Hugo asks for a solution, Catherine orders him to find Helena and kill her. Elsewhere, Alex takes Helena to her long-time confidant, Sylvia, and asks for a place to stay. Being the kind woman that she is, Sylvia gladly accepts, but before she can escort them out, she hears a knock on her door. Outside, she finds Hugo and two armed soldiers on the lookout for Helena. It turned out that he rummaged throughout Alex's apartment and found Sylvia's business card there. The men then barge inside the place and start looking around. Soon they reach one of the therapy booths and realizes that the couple is on the other side. Hugo then orders Sylvia to start the screen, and as soon as she does so, Alex and Helena freezes in their place. They do not even blink, because if they do, the wolf simulation will also move and blow their cover. This goes on for a while, and when Sylvia refuses to hand over the couple, one of the soldiers shoots her dead. This terrorizes the couple on the other side, and they immediately run away from there. Then, an intense chase ensues on the rooftops, with the couple managed to stay one step ahead of the bad guys. However, they are eventually concerned when they come across a dead end. With no alternative left, Alex prepares to jump to another track. He goes first, but when it's Helena's turn, she freezes in fear and is eventually apprehended. Alex can just watch as Hugo and his men take her away. That night, a distraught Alex hides to the same nightclub and approaches his friends. Xiao, who was also apparently beaten up by Hugo and his men. Xiao expresses his concern for Alex and also mentions that the test results of Helena are out. Unfortunately, she is unfit to stay in this environment and will have to go back inside the Orbiter 9. The revelation devastates Alex, but an idea strikes his mind. In the meantime, Hugo approaches Katrina and asks her if he can return Helena back in the Orbiter program. However, she refuses, claiming that it will cost them a lot of money. She then orders him to finish Helena off immediately, so that the news doesn't spread elsewhere. Following the orders, Hugo starts preparing the euthanization process, but before he can end it all, Alex arrives outside the building and processes the deal to Hugo. Also, the latter has already set his mind on killing Helena. He still calls Alex inside for the sake of their friendship. Wasting no time, Alex mentions that Helena is pregnant with his child, a child which could be a significant importance in their project. He then proposes that Helena be allowed back in the Orbiter along with him, so that they both can raise their child in the environment. This would create the perfect astronaut so that after 20 years, she can lead the real spaceship to Celeste. Surprisingly, Hugo likes the idea, and he lets the couple head back to the Orbiter. In the final scene, 20 years have passed by outside Orbiter 9, and now old Hugo waits for a girl to come out of her bunker. Presumably, Alex and Helena's daughter. The girl smiled at someone behind her and then looks into the sky. The movie ends as the spaceship ready to take off for Celeste is heard, indicating that the experiment was a success. I hope you liked the video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye!